The National Commissioner, Information and Voter Education, INEC of the INEC, Mr. Festus Okoye, I'm told he's back online. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Fine.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Good to have you on the show. We've been having technical issues. Yes, there are a few questions we already have lined up on the table for you already. First things first.
How did it go?
The issue people are complaining about, they're trying to register. You've been telling us to go and register. We know we can go online to register, but we find crowd. There's still lots of people having issues with machines not being enough in areas to actually register. What's the update on that?
Well, we are making efforts to make sure that we deploy additional machines to where we call areas of pressure. But as you know, this registration has been going on for over a year. And sometimes our registration officers just register one single individual a day. But you know, this 11-minute rush, this 11-minute hour thing is part of the bane of our Nigerian society, and we need to find ways and means of changing it. But despite that, we recognize the fact that it is the constitutional right of people to register. It is their civic responsibility to register. And we are going to make sure that all those who show up to register get to register. So for areas of pressure like Lagos, Kano, the 5 states of the southeast, Oyo, and so on, we have deployed additional machines, and we are making sure that we obviate the type of challenges people are having at the moment.
As a follow-up to that, go ahead, Nima.
Okay.
Sir, can you confirm that, you know, at the Ekiti polls that there were, there's a video online, a tweet video showing security agents, you know, assisting to scatter votes in a particular polling unit. Can you confirm that the entire elections was peaceful, or were there areas, and which areas were there that you had issues?
Well, you know, in this particular Ekiti governorship election, we had a total of 989,224 registered voters. Okay. And this election took place in 2,445 polling units. So in almost all the polling units, everything went on well. Everything was very, very peaceful. So if there was a challenge in one polling unit, for instance, or 2 polling units, we cannot use that particular polling unit to profile 2,445 polling units. But I have not seen the video you are talking about. Okay. But all the observers and everybody has enjoyed the polls as very peaceful, transparent, and credible.
As a follow-up to the question you talked about on deploying additional machines across board, people are asking for an extension, saying that, yes, we know 30th of June is the last day for registration, but can you extend it another 60 days now that people have woken up to the reality that they need to get their PVCs ASAP?
The issue of extension is not on the table at the moment. We want to see how far we go to the 30th day of June 2022 for the purposes of this registration. Now, the law obligates us to stop everything relating to registration, review of the voters register, updating of the voters register 90 days to the election. Moreover, we have to print the entire register and display in the 8,809 registration areas for claims and objections. Thereafter, we will run our APIs to remove double and multiple registrants. And then we have to print the PVCs of every person who has registered, everybody who has done transfer, everybody whose PVC has been damaged or defaced, and then begin the process of getting these PVCs across to the various local governments and registration areas for people to collect. This is a huge responsibility, and we do not want to be caught up carrying out voters registration up to the last moment, and we will not even have time to get people to collect their cards. 2 or 3 days to the end of the period, the commission will meet, review the process, and then see whether there is a compelling, cogent and verifiable reason for extension. Okay. And if we find a cogent, verifiable reason for extension, the commission may extend for a very short period.
Okay.
Yes. So the next stage would be pickup, and we're getting lots of complaints. People are saying that they're unable to pick up. They go there and they're being tossed here and there. They cannot find their PVC. Please, do you have anything to say to that? Is this a problem with INEC officials? Don't you have enough hands? Does it have anything to do with the process, or is it just Nigerians not knowing the right steps to take to pick up their PVCs?
I think there are two procedures, there are 2 steps, and there are 2 issues involved. There are the PVCs that were printed before we conducted the 2019 general election. Those PVCs are in our local government offices, and people can go and pick up their PVCs if they have not collected. For the new PVCs that we are printed during the continuous voters registration exercise, we have only printed the PVCs for those who registered during the first and second quarter. That is those who registered between the 28th day of June 2021 and the 14th day of January 2022. It is only these people that their PVCs are ready. Those who registered during the third quarter and those who are now registering, their PVCs will be ready ahead of the election. And we are going to inform them through bulk SMS and through email when their PVCs are ready.
Okay.
Now, for those who did double and multiple registration, they should know, they know themselves, and they should not expect that anybody is going to print their PVCs. So if you registered before and you went and registered again in violation of the law, we have not printed your PVC. So even if you go to the our offices 20 times, your PVC will not be there because you engage in double and multiple registration.
Right.
So I wanted to ask about this issue of vote buying, the role of INEC according to the Constitution. After EFCC or maybe the security agencies have made arrests, what does INEC do with those people?
I'm going to reverse your question. I think that the media and the Nigerian people should focus attention on the political parties, on the candidates, on the aspirants, and those who go to the polling units to go and correct the process. We must also focus attention on our people who have refused to realize the power of the vote. They have refused to realize the potency of the vote. As far as the commission is concerned, we have said that, one, we do not have the capacity to prosecute the multitude of electoral offenders, and that the government should set up an electoral offences commission and tribunal to deal with the issue of arrest, issue of investigation, and issue of prosecution of electoral offenders. Our role only comes in after an arrest has been made, an investigation has been conducted, and then a prima facie case is established before it comes to the commission for purposes of prosecution. If these things are not done, there is no way we can prosecute. So I think that what we have done is to recalibrate our polling units to ensure secrecy of the voting compartment and also ensure that people do not go into the voting compartment with electronic gadgets.
So, Mr. Okoye, there are reports saying that there's a deliberate attempt to restrict or restrain people from the southeast from registering. And they've seen this across areas in Festa, Kalimosho, where, you know, we've not had enough machines. Could you help me respond to this? Because people are feeling there's a deliberate action against INEC against this section of people. Is that correct? Hello, sir. Okay, so I'm told that we're having some disconnection issues. I really wanted to clarify a few things. And
it's really been helpful.
Yeah. Getting back to that question.
So, I mean, so obviously they can't prosecute. They can only give you evidence based on what they conducted. But the police security office have to be the ones to gather to be able to prosecute.
Of course, that makes sense.
I would really have loved to know whether, you know, the improvement that we saw with the beavers and all the transmission, the electronic methods that were used will be continued in the general elections. Remember that last elections, one of those improvements was not deployed. They were saying they had some technical issues and they went back to status quo. I hope that this one we have used, these elections will use Oshun as well to improve on any errors that we have in those.
You know, that's why I was even asking you if we used electronic, if the electronic voting was used in this case, those that were talking about ballot box snatching. I wanted to find out how you would still have ballot box snatching if there was electronic voting.
So I'm told it's back. Mr. Okoye, did you get my question? Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Are you there? Hello, sir. Are you there? Okay, so still frozen. Well, we have to wrap up the show very soon. But I would have loved to even know how many new registered voters we have between 2019 and to date. How many more? Because I know they had projected about 40 million they were hoping to get. But I'd like to know what the new numbers are. How many people have registered so we can potentially have an idea of how many more new voters we're going to be having for 2023. I mean, these are interesting times when more people are getting more interested in this process. And I'm so excited that young people are interested. I just hope that they're able to sustain this momentum
and follow through
for 8 months. You know, you can shout all the shout now.
Yeah.
When February comes, would you show up?
Yeah, they should also understand that the election starts now at this local level, at the grassroots level. Don't just wait for the presidential. You can make a difference in your community. You should participate in the voting in your community. Okay, I'm told he's back again. Mr. Festus Okoye, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Did you hear my last question?
Yes, as far as the commission is concerned, it is the constitutional and legal right of any individual that has turned the age of 18 and has never registered before to register. It is also the constitutional and legal right of any individual to register wherever he or she resides, wherever he or she works, or wherever he or she wants to register and vote. No individual and no community is permitted under any guise whatsoever to prevent anybody from registering. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission flew into Lagos when that report came, and we have carried out some investigation, and we are waiting for the report of our investigation. But the commission will not condone the fact that anybody is being prevented from registering. It is unconstitutional, it's illegal, and it's a complete violation of the fundamental rights of such individuals.
So how many votes do we have now? Since 2019 today, do you have the numbers? How many votes how many new voters have we registered? Do you know?
No, you know, going into the 2019 general election and after the off-season elections that we conducted, we had a total of 85 million registered voters already. Now, for this particular registration exercise, we expect that at the end of this entire process, we are going to have between 10 and 15 million new voters. So give and take, we may go into the 2023 general election with around 92 million registered voters.
What? You said
192 million.
Okay.
Voters.
92 million.
Yeah,
Okay.
192 million.
190, that's almost 200 million. That's
No. We already have 85 million registered voters.
Yes.
So when we pull all of them together, we may have 92 million registered voters for the entire election. Yes.
Okay.
I have a question from Benedict. He says some of us registered June 2021 as first-timers, and up to now, my PVC is not produced. I went to the Oshodi Isolo INEC office 2 weeks ago, and I was asked to come back by August to check again. So those are some of the reports we hear.
For those who registered June 2021, I mean, when we started this continuous voters registration exercise, their PVCs have already been printed. So if his own has not been printed, that means something is wrong. It's possible that there was a mistake in his PVC and it's being reprinted. But we have printed the PVCs of all those who registered. But let him be sure that he has never registered before. If he has ever registered in any election, the implication is that his PVC will never be printed.
Okay, we have to wrap up. Thank you very much, Mr. Festus Okoye, for joining us this morning. I appreciate it. I wish we didn't have technical issues, but I'd love to really answer more questions. But what we've been told this morning, if you register, if you're a new time register, or even a register between June 2021 till January 2022, by today, your PVC should be exactly where you went to register. Please go there to pick up. For those that registered between January to date and are still registering, they will announce in future when the PVCs will be ready. So I think that much information we've gotten from this. When it is, we have to wrap up. Okay. That's all we can take on the show. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.